Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Claire Harris and I'm with New Brunswick Power, and I am on the Advanced Reactor Development team. Nuclear energy is a powerful type of energy that is used to create electricity. Electricity that we use for powering our homes, powering our cell phones, cooking our food, heating our water for showers, and things like that. Nuclear energy is created when the atom is split, and so the nucleus changes from one form to another. A nuclear reactor is a machine that uses this nuclear energy. NB Power's Point Lepreau Nuclear Generating Station uses this form of energy, and it creates the electricity for 35% of New Brunswick's grid. So my team at NB Power works with two companies, our Clean Energy Canada and Moltex Energy, on the development of a new kind of nuclear reactor, small modular reactors, or SMRs. They still use nuclear energy, but like their name suggests, they're a lot smaller. They also use brand new technology, so they're as safe and sophisticated as it gets. This development is very important because New Brunswick needs a lot of new clean energy to address climate change. And nuclear energy is one of the cleanest energies you can get. SMRs also offer an exciting opportunity to create new jobs in New Brunswick in many different areas, like business administration, training, parts manufacturing, construction, maintenance, and engineering. In this video, you're going to hear from employees from NB Power, from Our Clean Energy, and from Moltex Energy talk about their careers.
Hello, my name is Joel Beck, and I'm an engineer at NB Power. I'm currently working with the Advanced Reactor Development team in the engineering group. I am responsible for working with Moltex and Arc Canada to define NB Power's requirements, such as safety goals, performance objectives, construction and decommissioning needs. I also oversee the reactor designs to ensure these requirements have been met. The current fleet of Canadian reactors have been in operation since the early 80s. That's 40 years ago. Reactor designs have not changed much since then, and they've been increasingly expensive to construct, operate, and maintain. The new SMR designs are safer, smaller, less expensive, and easily deployed in remote areas. The need to curb climate change and decrease our reliance on fossil fuels is the driving force behind this change. What I like most about my job is that every day is different. I'm constantly learning, and I get to work on cutting-edge technology that's never been built before. I've been working for NB Power for 5 years, but not always for the Advanced Reactor Development team. My first 4 years I was working at Point Lepreau Nuclear Generating Station, which is a CANDU 6 reactor. I was the fuel channel program engineer, responsible for inspections and long-term component health of the 380 pressure tubes that hold the fuel inside the reactor core. Before NB Power, I worked for a small research and development company, Atlantic Hydrogen, and we developed, built, and optimized reactor systems for hydrogen and carbon black co-production. I went to the University of Toronto for material science and engineering. And engineering is the application of science to solve practical, real-world problems. Any degree in a STEM field, which is science, technology, engineering, or math, can definitely get you a start in the nuclear industry. So if you're interested in getting into the engineering field, you can start today with any number of hobbies such as 3D printing, circuit design or programming through microprocessors. Even 3D modeling, there's great free software, web-based programs out there that you can start using today. So if you're interested in some of these hobbies, you can go to your local makerspace, which is a workshop that's open to the public for a small fee, where they have all kinds of tools to use and try out, and generally there's an expert there that can help you use those things. You can see if your school has any technology-based extracurricular clubs like AV or automotive tech, and you'll soon be on your way to a job in the nuclear industry.
Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Brown and I'm a mechanical engineer. I work with a company called Moltex Energy, and we're developing a novel type of nuclear reactor, or SMR. I'd like to take a little bit of time to demystify nuclear reactors. Now, nuclear reactors seem very complicated, and when you get into the nitty-gritty, they are. But when you look back and take more of a general approach to them, they're really quite simple at their core. Under the right conditions, nuclear fuel such as plutonium or uranium, the glowy green stuff that you see in cartoons, that gets really hot. So the job of people like me is to take that heat energy and turn into energy that we can use to power our homes. Nuclear reactors do this by pulling the heat from the fuel and transferring it into water. And anyone who has left a pot of water on the stove long enough knows what happens when water gets hot. It starts to boil. This boiling water creates steam, and this steam is used to drive a turbine, this large windmill-like device which is attached to a generator and used to generate electricity, the same electricity that you're using to watch me right now. So at the end of the day, it's my job to figure out how to get that heat energy out of the nuclear fuel and convert it into electricity. This is the concept which drives all of nuclear energy and what allows us to take the energy out of nuclear fuel without producing any extra fossil fuels that would contribute to global warming. Working on this is something that I really enjoy. Every day I get to come into work and work with a lot of different very intelligent people who are all working towards a goal and trying to solve a problem that we think can help the world. Some of you are old enough that you might be beginning to think of what you want to be when you grow up. For anyone who's interested in solving problems, I would highly recommend that they consider going into engineering. My own background is in mechanical engineering, with a specialization in mechatronics, which puts an emphasis on electrical and software as well. Through this program, I got to do lots of fun different things in school. I got to design and build my own 3D printer. I got to make my own laser tag tanks that would drive around and play laser tag with each other. I got to build a drone that could fly above people autonomously and recognize people down below it. A lot of this stuff sounds complicated, but when you get into it, it actually isn't all that difficult. For anyone who's interested in following the same path that I did, the single best tool that I would recommend is Arduinos. These are little computers that can hook up to a wide variety of different types of sensors and motors, and you can use them to make a whole bunch of different types of robots. You can use these kits to familiarize yourself with programming, electronics, robotics, and the engineering design process. I only started using these in university, and they're what really kicked off my passion for robotics. So if any of you are interested in engineering, I'd highly recommend that you try them out. Maybe it'll start you down a path similar to mine. In my opinion, engineering is the purest form of problem solving, and I hope to see some of you alongside me in this field one day.
My name is Rachel Kirsten, and I'm a quality management specialist for ARC Clean Energy Canada. ARC Canada is going to be building the ARC 100, a 100 megawatt small modular reactor, or SMR. The word small can be a little misleading. 100 megawatts is actually quite a bit of energy. The Point Lepreau nuclear generating station is a 660 megawatt reactor, and it currently supplies about 35% of New Brunswick's energy. That means that the ARC 100's 100 megawatts will be about 5% of the energy that New Brunswick currently uses. Building the ARC 100 is going to take a lot of work, providing thousands of jobs in construction, operations, and supply chain. The ARC 100 uses reactor technology that is proven, walk-away safe, and cheaper than conventional reactors, while leaving behind less waste. My job at ARC Canada is in quality management. My last job was at a rubber manufacturing facility in a process quality engineering role. Although rubber manufacturing and nuclear energy are quite different, the importance of quality is something that they both have in common. Quality management is necessary to make sure that a product performs the way that it should. When quality is maintained, we can do what we promised we would do, and our customers will want to keep us around. I remember the first time I learned about nuclear energy. I was in the 12th grade at Leo Hayes High School in Fredericton. I was fascinated to learn about how massive amounts of energy could be created as small quantities of matter split and release a lot of heat. After high school, I took a degree in chemical engineering at the University of New Brunswick. During university, I began to learn more about the global problem of climate change. I also took courses related to nuclear energy and realized that nuclear is key in the fight against climate change. We are fortunate to have such easy access to electricity in Canada. There are many places around the world that don't have that same easy access. We want everyone in the world to experience the benefits of electricity, allowing people better education, health, safety, and comfort. SMRs have the potential to help give everyone access to electricity without contributing to greenhouse gas emissions, which will preserve the planet that we all call home. I had trouble finding a job in New Brunswick after university, so I moved to Nova Scotia for work. Shortly after moving, I began to hear about the SMR industry and how it was growing in New Brunswick. I knew I wanted to be a part of it. I waited for an opportunity to be involved in this industry, and it was worth the wait. Now I have moved back home, and I am working in an industry that I'm truly passionate about. I'm excited to be part of the ARC Canada team because I'm building a career in the province I love, in an industry that is good for the future of people and the planet. For more information on the importance of nuclear energy, I would suggest listening to Michael Schellenberger's TED Talk, How Fear of Nuclear Power is Hurting the Environment, and reading the book, A Bright Future, How Some Countries Have Solved Climate Change and the Rest May Follow, by Joshua S. Goldstein and Stefan A. Quist. I hope that my words in these resources help you get excited for the opportunity that nuclear energy presents in New Brunswick.
Wow, those are some great career stories. I hope you've learned a lot about the Small Modular Reactor program in New Brunswick and that this has inspired you to think about a career in the nuclear industry yourself. We have provided an activity for you and your classmates to use to think about a little bit more the careers that are available in the nuclear industry. Thank you, and I hope to see some of you in the future coming out to work at Point Lepreau or on the Small Modular Reactor program.